Today you meet somebody, they say I like you, they say I love you, but actually do they really like you and love you? Are they really true to their feelings? When I was out of my college and I joined Deloitte, I was very naive. I was very true to my feelings. As you are, you're just out of college, you'll be very true to your feelings. If you have friends, you give their life for them. And if you hate somebody, you fight with them in front of them. Even if it's seniors or if it's somebody in your class who have a competition, you don't fear about anything. You directly go there and express your true expressions. But as you grow, as you go ahead in your life, you start masking your feelings. When I was in Deloitte, I was in the same way I was expressing my true feelings of friendship, and I used to think that everybody is really very happy and very close to me and they're there to help me. But actually that's not the case. I was constantly said that these people are in front, they're the same in front, they're not the same in front of you and behind you. They keep changing. And I'm sure even you will be learning in your office that you have to smile at somebody, but you actually go back and you taunt the person. Are you really true to yourself? You come out and say, I love my job, I love the people I'm working with, నాకు మా కొలీగ్స్ అంటే చాలా ఇష్టం, మా టీం అంటే ఇంకా చాలా ఇష్టం. బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ నిజంగా do you really love them? Love is a word which is very easily, very simply used. Do we really love? It's a very deep emotion. As per the Bible, we know how Jesus loved us. He sacrificed. How God loved us. He sacrificed His own Son. So are we in the place today where we can use love in the same way? So let's work. Let's talk about church. Are you really glad about the person who's sitting beside you? Are you really happy thinking that, yes, this person is our family, a church family? Or do you think in your heart that, why is she even here? She doesn't deserve to be here. How can even she enter the church with the things that she's doing? But you actually go there and see, praise the Lord, I'm very happy to see you. We are very happy that you're a part of our family. But do you actually from deep down from your heart believe that, yes, this person deserves to be in this place with you, beside you? How many of you must have thought that it's better to get out of the house as soon as possible? Forget all the tauntings and criticism that your father used to give, your mother used to give, or your siblings used to give. I want to get out of this house. I want to live a free life. I don't care about them anymore. But do you realize that they actually love you? And they were there since you were born. Your siblings were there since you were born. They are the ones who's going to be there with you since at every moment of your life where you need them. I'm sure that you must have all of them who have come out of the house have missed house. They see for a weekend, a long weekend, where you actually want to go back to your place and stay with them. Eat the food that your mom has made, or go shopping with your dad, or just go and spend that time with your family in your comfort. There is love. Why is the comfort there? Because there is love. There is true love. ఆ ప్రేమ అనేది ఎక్కడ కలుషితం అవ్వలేదు. ప్రేమ, అమ్మ ప్రేమ, నాన్న ప్రేమ కలుషితం అవ్వలేదు. అందుకే కదా మనం అందరం తిరిగి ఇంటికి ఎప్పుడు వెళ్తాము, లాంగ్ వీకెండ్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది, ఇంటికి వెళ్ళాలి అని అనుకుంటాం. నాకు కూడా ఎప్పుడైనా వీలైతే ఎంత తొందరగా ఇంటికి వెళ్తే అంత బాగుంటుంది అనిపిస్తుంది. ఉన్న ఒక 1 hour కూడా దట్స్ మై కంఫర్ట్ ప్లేస్. మా మమ్మీ డాడీ నాకు చూపించే ప్రేమ ఇట్స్ కెనాట్ బి ఈవెన్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్డ్. ఇట్స్ ద సేమ్ వే ఫర్ ఎవ్రీబడి, రైట్? వై ఇస్ దట్? Because when God has programmed us, He has given us the emotion of love in a default category. అంటే అది మనకి డిఫాల్ట్గా వచ్చేస్తుంది. It's not something that we have to think about it, we have to prepare for it, or we have to spend all night studying about it. What is love అని మనం రీసెర్చ్ చేయక్కర్లా. It is something that we get it very automatically and very naturally. When you look at a person, he's smiling, you smile at him very naturally. It's not that you think about it, process it somewhere, and I have to smile, so this person is smiling, so you have to respond in that way. It's not a computerized program. It's something that is very natural for us. కానీ ఈ టైంలో మనం అలా ఉన్నామా? వి థింక్, నో, నేను ఇప్పుడు ఈ మనిషిని నేను ప్రేమించానంటే నాకు ఒక ఏదన్నా లాభం ఉందా? We always see an opportunity in loving. If I'm doing something, if I'm going somewhere, and if I'm loving somebody or helping somebody, is there an opportunity for me to gain something? Love is a very selfless act. If you see kids, వాళ్ళకి ప్రేమ అనేది చాలా సులువుగా వస్తుంది. If the kids are there around and you go talk to them, they immediately talk to you. And if they connect with you, they play with you. They don't see your color. They don't see your height. Are you wearing branded clothes, non-branded clothes? Are you even tall, fat, thin? Nothing. They just openly come and play with you. It's the same. They don't even see your richness or if you're poor or you're a security guard son or you're a watchman's son. No. They just come and openly they just play, because that is how God has made us. That's a very natural instinct that He has put it in us. It's the same image what He has done. In His same image we are. So His by default program is to love. And in the same way, it's our instinct to love. He never thinks that if I love my children, He never thinks that if I'm going to get something from him, or if I'm going to get something from my daughter, will they go ahead and speak about me? Are they going to do this? He never asked you all that. And even He never said or condition, He put a condition that He's going to love you only if you're going to do all these. He just loves you. So similarly, even kids, they just love you. They don't have hatred, and they're very innocent. They just love you like anything. If you have seen Anne, she goes and plays around with everybody. Whoever is there, she goes around and play with everybody. Has she ever saw a distinction between two people? Being rich or poor or fat or thin or fair or dark? No, right? So actually, but we are made to love each other. Now, we are always confused about the expression love. We are always confused. We say that I love cars. We say that I love coffee. We say that I love shopping. But is that really love? Love doesn't come out from obsession or infatuation or possessiveness. But it's actually you believe that it's for the benefit of the other person. You actually feel that this person should grow. You tend to help him to grow. You tend to help him to achieve something in his life. You tend to help him to achieve your goals. Similarly, a husband and wife, if they love each other, they support their goals. They support each other to grow. They support each other to prosper. It's not a one-way track. I love you, so you do it for me. I don't care about your requirements. No. It's both way. You have to love the person, and similarly the other person should love you, and that's how it works. They meet together to grow. They meet together to prosper. So it's the same thing with everybody. If you're a friend with somebody and you say that you love him, you're actually there for him, for you to prosper, for him to grow, and you help him out, right? That's how it works. You say he's my friend, but you're not there at the time of the need, then he's not your friend. Then you don't love the person, right? So similarly, you take a vow and you take a promise there saying that you're there for your husband and your wife all the time. But are you really there? If you're there, are you helping them grow? Are you helping them enrich their lives? So we have to think about that. Now, let's see. Now we have spoken a lot about love and the confusing things about love, expressing love. So let's see how we can actually make love a dominating characteristic in our life. So we have to give love the priority. The first thing that you can do to make love prosper in your life is to give it priority. Prioritize love first. Let's take the reference 1 John chapter 3 verse 11. For this is the message you have heard from the beginning. We should love one another. That's the message that God has given you, saying that we should love one another. So simple, right? Just love one another. And God is always there with you. That's it. It's very simple. We spend a lot of time thinking about how we feel and doing things that we think that it is important. I'm going to help people. I'm going to serve the poor. I'm going to donate something to the poor. Or I'm going to fight for my rights. All these are very valid. But as the scripture also reminds us, reference 1 Corinthians 13 verse 3. And if I donate all my goods to the poor and give my body in order to boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Isn't it true? We do a lot of things without love in it. We are just here So that we have to, it's a responsibility. I'm there. I'm going to the office. It's a responsibility. I'm going to the office. Do I actually love my job? Do I actually love the people around? Do I actually feel that, yes, this is what I'm meant to do? So we go around, we spend time only because we have to do and not because of love, right? How long do you think that's gonna work without love? So I'm going to give you my personal experience about my education. My sister, she decided to study in Chennai, and even my dad had a policy of, if somebody wants to study there, he moves the entire family there. He never used to allow us to stay in the hostel. So if I wanted to study somewhere and it's working, he moves the entire house there, so that we are always in the protection of our house. He never used to tell us to go in the hostel because he feels that we cannot stay without them and he cannot stay without us. So he moved the entire house to Chennai, where my sister wanted to study and get a Chennai University, Madras University certificate. I've joined there in the college. My sister got into a course that she wanted, but I didn't. I wanted to do commerce, but I was put into a computer course. I had to do it, so I was just going about it, going every day to the college, but it was getting difficult. The first 1 month passed, then another 15 days passed, and I started hating it. Every day I used to get up, I used to think, I do not want to go to the college. God, please do something. And one day I decided that it's not going to happen anymore, and I spoke to my mom and dad and said, I cannot do this anymore, I want to quit. They were supportive enough. And I took a decision that I'm going to lose my year. But it's better to do something which I don't like than to do something which I love. I studied for Geetham. I wrote the examination. I got through and I got into the college. And every day I walked into the gate, into the college, it was just pure love. I enjoyed my 3 years. I loved what I studied. And similarly, when I joined Amazon, I was not able to connect with the work. I wanted to do some HR job, and all I saw was computers and, constantly sitting on the computers. I'm not saying that it is something that nobody should do. Everybody has their own connections. So I wanted to do something with commerce. But then I was not able to connect. 3 months, I was out. I prepared for my interview at Deloitte. I got through and I got the job. And every day I walked into Deloitte was just pure love. I enjoyed. I loved the work that I do there. Of course, it does come with certain, I'm not saying it was a bed of roses and everybody were all good and everything was good. I was enjoying every day. No, we had our share of troubles. We had our share of problems, competitions and irritations with the colleagues, everything. But that was not my priority. My priority was the love for my job, and that pushed me. That pushed me ahead. I know there are certain kind of restrictions at your place. Probably your parents have forced you to do this job, or you're forced to do a job somewhere or study a course somewhere. But then make an effort to start loving it. But if you start loving it, I'm sure you'll see a difference. People will start noticing a difference in you. You'll start feeling very happy. Nobody has to come and tell you, are you happy or anything. They just know that they don't even need to come and ask you the question if you're happy. They know that you're happy because that reflects on your face. So wherever you are, ఏ ప్లేస్లో ఉన్నా కూడా మీరు సంతోషంగా ప్రేమతో నిండుంటే ఆ ప్లేస్లో మిమ్మల్ని ఎవరు వచ్చి ఏం అడగక్కర్లేదు. మిమ్మల్ని చూడగానే అర్థమైపోతుంది. హీస్ ఫుల్ ఆఫ్ హ్యాపీనెస్, హీస్ ఫుల్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్, హీస్ ఫుల్ ఆఫ్ లవ్. They feel like coming and talking to you. If you're depressed and sitting somewhere, would any person would like to come and talk to you? He has his own set of problems. Why do I need to hear his? Why do I have to come and talk to him? I have my own problems. But if you're happy, if you're smiling, if you're open to friendship, you're open to love, people will automatically get attracted to you. Don't you think? Right? How many of you have thought that, yes, I'm happy at this place. I love the thing that I'm doing right now. Have you ever sat and thought about it twice, or think about it at least once, saying that, am I happy at the place that I am in? Do I love the job that I'm doing? Do I love the work that I'm doing? Or is it just something because I have to do? Is it something that you're doing it just because you're set to do? The happiness that you get is beyond you imagine if you actually start loving. Make love your priority and see how your life changes. Even though we have freedom to make our own priorities, We have our freedom to take our own decisions. Jesus has made a point of defining a certain one, that is love. Let's open Matthew 22:37. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your mind. This is the greatest and the most important commandment. And the second is likewise, love your neighbor as yourself. It's one of the most important commandments. Love the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your mind. It's not 50% heart, 50% mind, 20% soul. It's entire heart, entire mind, entire soul. He's not given a certain ratio that you have to spend. And I pray for 2 minutes, that's enough. No. You have to be there in the moment. You have to be there, feel and love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And second is to love your neighbor as yourself. We love ourselves, right? Do we stand in front of the mirror, look at us every day, spend 10-15 minutes just to look good, be good, feel good? Why do we do that? Because we love ourselves. You get sick, why do you go to the doctor? Because you want to get better, right? You always want to be better. You want to look good. You want to feel good because you love yourself. Is there anybody who doesn't love themselves? Anybody? Is there anybody who can say that I don't love myself? No, right? We all love ourselves. We all want to be happy and be good, look good. Likewise, we also have to see that if we are able to love our neighbors just as we are, right? Love is not a gray area in scriptures. It's not something to be unsure. Do we have to know? Yes, no. I don't know about it. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. It's not like that. Love is described very clearly and very simply in crisp and precise words, saying that love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself. We have to think about it once. Whenever you have time, just sit, take some time off for yourself. Think about it. Am I filled with love? Am I capable of love? Why am I not able to love my neighbor as I am? Do I love myself? Am I hurting myself? Right? Jesus gave love priority above all the virtues. Every thought, response, or even an act of goodwill is undergone from under a fine filter of love. You do something. Do you have love in it? You give something. Do you actually have love in it? Once you make love your priority, you also have to understand the importance of love. How important is love? Let's open 1 Corinthians chapter 13. In the first 3 verses, Paul describes just how important love is. He states, "Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become a sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing." And he goes on saying, "And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing." Understand how important Paul says about love is. As a Christian, and as how Jesus has spoken to us about love in the Bible, we should all understand how love is. He states that even if we have great speech, or even if we speak really well, we have a lot of verbal authority over the words. Even if there is a lot of, you start giving a lot of things to the poor, you serve the poor, you give a lot of stuff to the poor. Even if you do any act without love in it, he says that I am nothing. I gain nothing without the love. If I will not have anything, it's nothing. It's worthless. Right? It's just worthless. They don't find a point. And have you ever realized that even if you do that, the other person also will not get, changed. I give some money to the poor without any love. He just takes it, puts it in his pocket, and walks out. Does he feel the love from me? Does he know that I'm actually serving him with love? There's a difference. You find the difference in the people who you give something to them, money, food, or anything with love. They accept it with a smile. But if you're not doing it with love in it, with the intent of love, they just take it, walk away. They don't even thank you. Or probably they say that this is not enough, I need some more. We see a lot of people asking for more. Right? So we all have to understand how important love is. As Paul states, if you do anything without love in it, if the love is missing, it will amount to nothing. And even if we surrender our lives and our possessions for some reason other than godly love, then it will be no profit for you. Right? Without any godly love in it, it will not gain you any profit. It doesn't matter what we say or what we have. Ultimately, without the love in it, it doesn't matter. Love is important. We have to understand the importance of love. Love is very important to us. I'll read a few more verses. 1 Corinthians 13:13 states, the love is greater than even faith and hope. And 13:14 says, but above all these things put on love, which is the bond of perfection. And 1 Corinthians 16:14 says, let all that you do be done with love. All of these verses address love as something that is ought to be done. As a Christian, it is ought to be done. And not only as a Christian, I believe that every human being should start learning this lesson of loving each other, right? But as a Christian, this has to be done. You ought to start learning and realizing that you're lacking love in your life, and you should start addressing the neighbor or your people with love. Whatever act that you do it in love. It makes the person very happy, makes your mind lighter, you feel happier, your heart is happier, right? It makes you very peaceful. Whatever you do in love, it's very peaceful. No matter the other person is trying to irritate you the whole day or your whole life, you are very peaceful. Because why? You're at a very happy state because you love what you do, right? You always love what you do. What are we without love within us? Or if we do not love each other, why do we have to give anger and hurt a lot of importance? Why do we have to give them? Jealousy. We give the negative aspects in our life more importance than love, right? We start picking out points in other person to start avoiding them or ignoring them rather than picking out points to actually love them. We always, in a white sheet, we always see that black mark. We forget about the entire white sheet. And we take decisions basing on that black mark and not on the white sheet. You wear a white dress, you are always focusing on the brown dot that is there, and you always keep thinking, why is it that there? How did it get there? You forget how beautiful your dress is. You forget how beautiful you are looking. You forget how beautiful the entire dress is looking. Who is going to focus on the black one? But what do? We always focus on the black dot and forget all the big picture, right? We have to start focusing on the big picture called love and stop addressing negative feelings, hurt and jealousy, and give them the priority to stop us making love with the other person, right? You're a colleague. You don't like your colleague. You start lying to them, right? Even if he comes and asks you that, can you help me out here? You say, no, I'm busy. Even though you're having the entire free time and you actually don't have work. He asks you, let's go for a cup of coffee. No, I'm very busy. But you actually start looking at your Facebook. You actually start playing Candy Crush. Why? Because you just don't like the guy. You don't love him. Or you cannot express love. You give your priority of, that guy, he stole my promotion. I'm not going to do anything good for him. Right? Women, probably, she stole my servant, my neighbor. I'm not going to help her if she's getting abused by her husband. Why do I? This guy spoiled my sleep by putting up loud music. Why do I help him if he falls down? I'll just walk past by him. We don't care, right? If someone has done something bad to you, you always take a judgment basing on that bad stuff that he has done to you, rather than giving priority that you thinking that, no, I'm filled with love. I'm a very lovable person. Jesus has taught me to love. Jesus has taught me to forgive. Jesus has taught me to follow his ways. No, you forget everything. You always think that, no, he's hurt me. Why do I have to do something good to him? Right? We all have to start thinking, are we taking the right decision, which you will be standing in front of the God and you have to answer. Love. Right? We all take very conscious decisions of hating somebody. Right? You have a lot of reasons of hating somebody. You have a lot of reasons listed out that if you don't like somebody or you don't like doing something, you have a long list prepared in your mind. Somebody comes and asks you, why didn't you go? He did this, he's very bad, he's very rude, he scolds me whenever it's possible, I'm quitting the job. But have you ever thought of making a conscious decision of loving what you actually do? Loving the person? మనం ఎప్పుడన్నా ఒకరిని ఇష్టపడకూడదు అనగానే వెంటనే చాలా రీజన్స్ వచ్చేస్తాయి. వాళ్ళు ఆ కాలంలో చేశారు. 10 years back the person has hurt me. 20 years back that person has cheated me. But what about now, your present? Start loving the person. Start forgiving the person. Let's make a conscious decision of loving somebody. Start making it. After you make a decision, what do? You start embodying the distinguishing nature of love. You should be love. They should define you as a lovable person. Why do we say that, oh, he's very lovable? Why? Because he doesn't have or she doesn't have any kind of negative feelings in them. Or even if they do, they give the priority of love much more importance and they forget it and then they move on with their life. They don't sulk back there thinking about why I hate the person. They just move on. I love you, I forgive you, I'm moving on. You are at peace. You have to constantly remember the people who you hate, right? So that you remember them later in your life. If they come in front of you, you remember all the incidents and you have to consciously say that I hate him, I don't want to talk to him, even though you actually forget about him. And when he's in front of you, you start remembering them. You start making points that why do you have to even go and talk to him? Why can't he just come and talk to me? Very, very, very simple. Start loving the person. Just forgive them. Forgive for whatever they've done. So another incident which I faced in my college was I have a friend, I'm not going to name her, but because she's still friends with me. So she always used to dislike me in my college. I never used to realize why. She never used to help me. Even if I go ahead and ask her something, she used to just move around and just walk away from me. I never used to understand because I've never done anything to her. I've never done anything to her. I hardly speak to her. But then whenever I used to approach her saying, hi, hello, how are you? She never used to respond to me, walk away. Then later I realized she likes a guy who is my best friend. He's my best friend. He's always there with me. He helps me. He's there with me. He makes me smile. And he never used to speak to her for unknown reasons. But then I was his best friend. And she consciously made a decision, even though I've not done anything to her, to start hating me. That's what we do, right? Someone else is having a better life. I hate her. Why does she get to have such a good life? Why does she get to have such rich life? Why does she have to, get such a good job? Why not me? She made a very conscious decision of hating me again and again, again and again. But then, somehow, I made a decision that I'm not going to spoil my college life because of her. I don't want to spoil my happiness because of her. She is lacking something in her life which I have, which is why she is jealous about it and she is hating it. What do I get out of it if I start hating her too? Without any reason, right? What do I get? I'm losing my peace, I'm losing my happiness. After a few months, she suddenly out of the blue messaged me saying that, Ashritha, I want to talk to you. I said, yeah, how come you messaged me? It's been such a long time that you spoke to me. She said, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry for the way that I've behaved with you. I don't know how did you even do it? How did you even though I come and talk to you and I behave very rudely with you, I really don't know how could you be so nice to me. All I did was to just smile at her, forgive her for whatever she's doing, and just move on with my life. I forgive her. I love her. She's done no harm to me. Why do I have to even spoil my peace with her? But then she realized, she noticed the difference. She understood that, yes, she's done nothing to me. Why do I have to hate her? Let me take a conscious decision of loving her again. That's what she did. And now we are really good friends. She's forgot everything. She's forgiven and she forgot and she moved on with her life and she has a kid right now and she's really happy with her life. And even today, even if I don't message, she definitely makes a point asking me, how are you? Isn't it beautiful to have relationships like that? Beyond the hate, beyond the hurt. ఎవరో మనకి ఎప్పుడో ఏదో చేశారని చెప్పి మనసులో పెట్టుకొని దాని మీదే మన బేస్ అయ్యి ఉంటే we lose a lot of beautiful moments, beautiful relationships with the person. Move on. Start loving the person. That's what Jesus did. There were so many people who hated him. There were so many people who wanted him out of the place. There were so many people who wanted him out of the world. Right? But what did he do? He simply forgave them. He simply loved them and prayed for them, making them understand that this is not what you're meant for. Don't give priority to your hate, jealousy, and hurt. Give love the priority. Make it the most important thing. Embody yourself. Make yourself love. So notice what Jesus said here. He did not say always, he only simply said love each other, but he's never said that you have to, show something to me, or, wear some tattoos, or wear the verses t-shirts, or, put some things on your car so that it represents that you are something, you love me, or you pray for me, or you are a Christian. He never said all that. What he asks you is to love each other, and that is what will distinguish you from another person. Right? How do you differentiate yourself from another person? By the clothes you wear? Or by the car you drive? No. But because of the character that you have. Right? Build your character. Build a character of love. Tomorrow, people will not remember what car you drove or what clothes you wore. If your character is bad, they won't even bother if you're rich. They just move on, probably only for some time. If they have an opportunity from you, they're going to be there with you, but not for a lifetime. You cannot have a relationship with them basing on the materialistic things that you have, but a relationship of love. Similarly, that is what Jesus said. I don't want you to showcase your love to me by putting up a lot of scriptures or, wherever we go, you talk about him or anything like that. Wear t-shirts, project that you're Christian. Right? It's not bad to do all those. It's your personal choice. But before you do that, have love in you and then do that. Right? If you're actually with a lovable person, you have love, you want to serve the person, you do all that. It's only going to be an additional thing for you to project yourself in the society, but it's not going to make you, it's not something that will make you remember in others' minds. If you want to be remembered, if you want to do something, if you want to build some good relationships with your family or society or do something great, do it with love. Right? Let's see reference John 4:16 and 17. God is love, and the one who remains in love remains in God, and God remains in him. In this, love is perfected with us so that we may have confidence in the day of judgment, for we are as he is in this world. If you have love, God is there. If there is God with you, there is love. Are you in the presence of God every day? Are you with love every day? We all have our bad moments. It's justifiable. God is not asking us to be perfect. But what are the majority of your decisions based on? Opportunity, jealousy, hurt, hate, competition? Or is it based on the love that you have? What are your decisions based on? Think about it. I am here today. What is my decision based on? I'm doing something for somebody today. What is my decision based on? Are you helping a person just so that he can degrade the other person? Are you helping your colleague so that he can give you something later, opportunity? Or you're just doing it because, oh, I just love my work. Why do I have to do it with somebody else? The 4 years, I've worked for a promotion which I didn't get, but yet I was not dejected. I just went on because I love my work. They are all going to come to me eventually if I do my work properly. Eventually, God is going to reward you. Eventually, you will get promoted. If you love your work. You don't love your work, you just go there, build up a relationship with your manager just so that he can promote you. How long will it stay? And imagine the words that your colleagues were going to speak about you. Oh, she got it just because she has a relationship with her manager. She has a very good relationship with her manager. That's why she got a promotion, or he got a promotion. She has very little work just because she has a relationship with her manager. Or she deserves it. She worked for it. Oh, she loves her job. That's why she's got promoted. Which one will make you happier? The first one or the second one? Right? The second one will make you much more happier. Love. Very simple yet very complicated. Very easy yet very difficult. Right? So there is an incident which I've read it online of a missionary, Ira Gillett. So when he was in the East Africa, he noticed a group of Africans who wanted to go to a hospital. They always used to pass by the government hospital and go to a missionary hospital which is much more far away. So they had to go a little more further to go to the hospital, walk a little further. They have to make a little more effort to go to the hospital. So he always used to wonder, why are they not going to the hospital which has similar people, similar doctors, similar medicines, and everything it's nearby, it's much easier for them to go. Why was he not going there? Why the group of Africans were always traveling much further to go to the missionary hospital? And he couldn't take it anymore. He wanted to break the suspense. So he went and spoke to a few Africans and asked them, why are you doing it? And all they replied was, the medicines are same, but the hands are different. What does he mean by hands are different? They are serving them with love. Right? What will you prefer? A person who's serving you some simple curries with love, or a person with a feelingless person coming and just giving you some biryani and walking out? What will you like? As I stated before, isn't that the reason that we get homesick and we go back home, so that we have some simple curries made by my mom rather than having some biryanis at a fancy or a lavish restaurant with a person serving you is having no feeling at all? Which one would you prefer? Home food, right? We always miss home food, right? We always miss the comfort of home. Why? Because of love. You go to some person's house, they invited you for dinner or they invited you for lunch. They don't serve you with love. They just, sit there and, take it and eat it. Would you go back to the person again? Even though they are the best dishes from a 5-star hotel that they have ordered and they've put it in front of you, would you go back to have lunch with them? Right? Why do we always do that? Because we are made to be like that. We crave for love. We crave for love. We crave for loving relationships. Right? But if you want those relationships, you have to start loving the other person. Develop a relationship with them. Start forgiving them for what they have done. And just move on. Right? That's the major difference which we have when we when we are with the people whom we love. We always enjoy their company, right? The people who love you, you always enjoy their company. If you're with a person you don't like, it's like sitting on a seat of thorns. When will this person stop talking so that I can just move on? So we are all ambassadors and we represent Jesus in this world, right? We are made of his image. And what is his image? Just love, forgive, love your neighbor, love yourself, love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, right? His every action, his every word, if you go through the Bible, every action, every word is always under the filter of love. He wouldn't do any of the stuff if there was no love in them. And that's what he says to you also. That's what he says to me too. Love makes you do some impossible and beautiful things. Like me standing here today. Just because Ernest is there in the States. It's out of love. It's not, I'm not doing this here because it's a responsibility. I'm not standing here and talking to you because I just have to do it. I give much more higher priority to responsibility or anything than the relationship that I have with him. Right? Isn't it beautiful? Don't you think that we should all develop such beautiful relationships? Right? I ask Honey or Pinky, anybody, whenever I need some help, they just say okay and they come. They don't think that why should I go and help her? Why should I leave my work and go and help her? Because they do it out of love. It's not just because they have to do it, just because they stay beside me. They can give me 101 reasons for not coming. Right? They can give me 101 reasons for avoiding the work. Similarly, all of you here. We have this bond, we have this relationship because knowingly or unknowingly, we have taken a conscious decision that yes, we love each other. We don't hate them. Whatever it might be. Yes, I'm again saying we might have our bad moments, but we have given our good moments, the right decisions, much more priority. That's the reason we are here today. And we are having a very peaceful relationship. They say even if you have a right relationship with the person, you don't speak to him, you just sit beside him, yet you are at peace. Have you heard that quote? I might not be putting it right, but if you're there with the person you love, no matter he doesn't speak, he's not in conversation with you, or he doesn't do anything, you're simply at peace. You just feel happy and you just move out, saying that, oh, I had the best conversation in the world. That's what love does. Love what you do. Love your neighbor. Start forgiving them. For the person who has hurt you or done something terrible to you, just forgive them. I'm sure that you'll be at a very peaceful position. You should demonstrate the love. How do you demonstrate love? Okay, I love him. Is that enough? Somewhere you have to demonstrate it, right? How do you demonstrate it? By valuing the person. Start valuing the person in front of you. Start valuing the person who's staying with you, or who's your neighbor, or who's working with you. Your watchman, your servant, your maid, anybody around you. Value them for what they're doing. Right? It always values the other person. Love values the other person. It's always for the benefit of the other person. You take decisions for their benefit. Or if you take a decision based on your benefit, is it called love? Take decisions based on their benefit. So the pastor who officiated a lot of weddings, he was a very happy-going man. So he officiated a lot of weddings, and when the groom used to come and ask him, so how much do I owe you for the wedding that he has done? He always used to smile and say, just give me what the bride is worth to you. And believe me, he was a very rich man. Because for the groom, the bride is the most valuable thing, valuable person at that point of time. Maybe the value changes after 2 years or 3 years. If she's constantly fighting with you, the value decreases or increases based on the love that you have. But at that moment, the groom, he values his bride more, right? So what is the value that you're placing on the other person? How much do you value your parents? How much do you value your friends? Are you taking them for granted? Or do you value them? Do you really value them for being in your life? We have to think about it. As Jesus loved us, we ought to love others in the same way. Right? And we have to forgive others in the same way. It's very difficult, I understand. It's very difficult for me to forgive the person who hurt me. But I want to be at a better place. It's my decision. I want to be at a very peaceful and a beautiful place. I want to have a lot of beautiful memories at the end of my life rather than making a list of people I hate. I want to have a list of beautiful relationships at the end of my life where I've spent time with everybody out of love and not just because I had to, just because I want to, out of responsibility. I couldn't escape it. Oh God, he's irritating me. That's why I have to go. No. What do you want to remember? If you look back to your life, what will you remember the most? The few good friends or the tens and thousands people you hate? Make memories. Make lovable memories. Spread love. It's okay to be vulnerable in love. It's okay to get hurt. It's okay. It's meant to be. We all get hurt in love. Somebody hurts us. It's okay. But the good part is, we can move on. We can make a decision to move on rather than sticking in that position. You trust somebody, they break your trust, it's okay. But make a decision to move on. He always forgave. Right? He always forgave us. No matter what we do, he always used to forgive us. So why don't you try making a decision? Even if it is hard, try making a conscious decision to love one another, to forgive each other. Even at any cost. Yeah? If you love somebody, I'm going to be there with him for any cost. You go ahead, if you love your friend, you do anything for him. Leave your job, leave your parents, you leave everything on earth, you'll be there to help him, right? The same with the person you love or with your boyfriend or a girlfriend. You just leave everything then and there and go on. Because you give love the priority. And I'm not saying that we should become doormats or, abuse ourselves or, somebody use us like anything. I'm not saying that. Make a conscious decision. Understand which person is worth what. If he's doing something bad to you, understand that and take a decision that I'm going to forgive him for whatever is done. I'm going to move on. I'm not going to make it affect my life anymore. And whenever it's getting troublesome, there's always someone who's going to help us. Who's going to help us? Yes. He's always there to help us. And he's always ready to help us. Wherever you are, whatever position you are in, whichever place you're in, he's not bothered about the signal network or anything. You can just be there at the moment and start praying to him, saying that, God, I'm not getting the strength to forgive the person. Help me. I'm not getting the strength to move on. Help me. I'm not getting the strength to fight my jealousy. Help me. I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be the image of you. I want to represent you in this world. I want to be your ambassador. Give me the strength. Pray. It's always good to pray. It's just a conversation that you have with God, right? You need not make a timetable and set certain appointment times with him. Anywhere, anytime, any place, you can always talk to him. Forgive those who hurt you. Move on. And we can do it very peacefully if God is there with us. And even if we fail, there's always hope that there will be a change in the future, right? That moment might not be a successful moment where you actually forgive the person and move on. But I'm sure if you try, if you pray, if you have the strength, the courage, and take a decision consciously that you will make love your priority, I'm sure that there will be a change in the person, in the situation, and in their relationships. Similarly, that I had with my friend. It took some time for her to understand that I don't mean any harm to her. But yes, eventually there was change. She understood what I was actually trying to do to her, because I was I actually love her and I don't want to get hurt. I understand that she's hurt because of a reason. So it doesn't make it, I don't want to turn into a bad person for no reason and start hating her. Take a conscious decision. Now, most important question that I have for you is, can we do it? Whenever we decide, can we do it? No, we cannot. If you're saying yes, you're being very positive. Yes, we can do it only and only when you have Christ in your life, when you have your God's presence in your life. If God is in you, love is there. If love is there, God is there. Have His presence in your life. Only then you will start loving the person, really, truly, from deep down in your heart. If you just think that, yes, okay, fine, I can listen to her, I'll just go and start loving the person, you cannot do it. I'm sure you cannot do it. You can only do it if you have God's presence in your life. Pray to Him. Ask for His presence to be in your life. Right? We all have to make a conscious decision. You cannot get treated if you're unwell without a doctor. Even though you think that, yes, I'm going to get well, you go buy some medicines out of the medical shop, you might turn the situation into much worse. Your health might get deteriorated. But if you have Christ in your life, things will be very easy for you to do. Or eventually it will turn easy for you. It will turn into something very peaceful. Yeah? So let's all bow down our heads and ask for Him to be in our lives. Let's ask Him to show mercy and cleanse your heart. Ask Him to give you the heart of love, give your heart the heart of forgiveness. Let's make a conscious decision today for forgiving people who hurt you. Yeah? Remember them in front of you. Remember the person who you hurt. Remember the person who hurt you. Imagine them in front of you. No matter how hurt you are, no matter how angry you are, imagine the person in front of you. వాళ్ళని గుర్తు తెచ్చుకోండి. ఎవరు మిమ్మల్ని బాగా బాధ పెట్టారో, మిమ్మల్ని చాలా ఏడిపించారో, వాళ్ళని మీ ముందు ఇమాజిన్ చేసుకోండి. Imagine them in front of you. Even though you're broken inside, you're hurt inside, or even if you're tearing apart inside, imagine them in front of you and say that today I am forgiving you. For whatever you have done, for whatever things you have done to me or hurt me, tell them openly, open your mouth and talk to them saying that I forgive you today, I love you, and I'll pray for you. Ask Jesus to give you the strength to forgive them. Ask Him to fill your heart with love. Ask Him to be in you so that you can forgive the person in front of you. Imagine the person whom you have hurt. There must be somebody you have hurt very badly. Probably your parents. You have uttered some really bad statements to them, or your friends, or your husband, or your wife. You've spoken something really bad that hurt them. Imagine them in front of you and ask for their forgiveness. Ask for their love. Pray that we can develop a relationship with love. We have love in our families. We have love in our friends. We have love in our jobs. Ask Jesus to give you the strength. And I'm sure He's always ready to help you. No matter what you have done or where you are, He's always there to help you.